You've tried every system: cold showers, 5 a.m. alarms, habit trackers, accountability partners, and for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, it worked. And it didn't, and you told yourself the same thing you always tell yourself: I just need more discipline. But what if discipline was never the problem? What if every motivational video you've ever watched, every productivity hack you've ever tried, was solving the wrong problem entirely? Because here's what nobody tells you: you don't have a discipline problem, you have an identity problem. And once you understand the difference, everything changes. Think about the last time you tried to build a habit. Maybe it was waking up early, going to the gym, reading every night. You used willpower, you pushed through, you white-knuckled it for a week. Then one bad day hit, you slept in, you skipped the gym, you told yourself you'd restart Monday. Monday came, you didn't restart. Most people look at that cycle and think, I'm weak, I have no discipline. But that's not what's happening. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain has a story about who you are, a self-concept, an identity, and every action you take is quietly filtered through one unconscious question: is this what someone like me does? If the answer is no, your brain sabotages you, not out of weakness, out of loyalty. It's protecting the version of you it already knows. This is why the man who says, I'm trying to get fit, quits after 2 weeks. But the man who says, I'm an athlete, finds a way to train even when he doesn't feel like it. Same body, same schedule, different identity. The behavior follows the belief, always. This isn't a new idea, it's an ancient one. The Stoics called it character, not as something you perform, but something you become through repeated decision. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who became one of the most powerful philosophers in Rome, said this: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Notice the order. First, who you are, then what you do, not the other way around. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman in Japanese history, didn't train because he felt motivated. He trained because, in his mind, there was no version of himself that didn't train. The sword wasn't separate from his identity. It was his identity. He didn't ask himself every morning whether he felt like practicing. That question didn't exist for him. And that's the difference between the man who succeeds and the man who endlessly restarts. One is negotiating with himself every single day. The other has already decided. So how do you actually change your identity? Not just your habits, your self-concept. There are 3 steps. They're simple. They're not easy. Step 1, make the declaration. Stop saying, I'm trying to. That phrase is poison. It keeps you permanently in the position of someone who hasn't decided yet. I'm trying to read more keeps you a non-reader who occasionally picks up a book. I'm a man who reads makes every book a confirmation of who you are. The declaration comes first. The evidence follows. Step 2, cast votes for your new identity. Every small action is a vote. You don't become a writer by publishing a bestseller. You become a writer the moment you sit down and write, even badly, even for 10 minutes, even when nobody is watching. Each vote doesn't change everything, but each vote changes something. Your brain is always listening. Every time you follow through, it updates its file on who you are. Miss once, the file barely moves. Miss twice, it starts to reconsider. Miss consistently, and the old identity reasserts itself. So the goal isn't perfection, the goal is to never miss twice. Step 3. Protect the identity fiercely. This is where most men fail. They build a new identity in private, then destroy it in public. They say yes to things that the person they're becoming would say no to. They spend time with people who remind them of who they were. They consume content that reinforces helplessness and passivity. Your identity is not bulletproof. It needs guarding. The men, the environments, the content, the conversations you allow into your life, they are all constantly voting on who you are. Choose them accordingly. Let me leave you with this. Every man you admire, every man whose discipline seems effortless, whose focus seems unbreakable, whose life seems built rather than stumbled into, that man is not powered by motivation. He is powered by a settled, unshakable answer to one question: who am I? When that answer is clear. Discipline isn't something you chase, it becomes something you express. You don't force yourself to do the work. You can't imagine not doing it. That shift from forcing to becoming is everything. You don't need more willpower. You need a new story about who you are. And the good news, you can start writing it right now.